Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Summer School. Today, we're here with a little different setup because if you're here on video, so only if you're over on YouTube. But I'm trying to see what it looks like to have a more angled look, and it might look absolutely stupid, so bear with me. But we are here with Kari. Kari was a student in Summer School, the coaching program when we had that. Also, mentored with me and now is a part of Summer School, the membership community. So honestly, you're just the best. I love you. I'm like, you're so kind. But Kari's actually incredible, and we chat all the time. So we were talking about ChatGPT, and we realized let's have a podcast talk on it because it's so useful. But before we dive into all of that, Kari, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you're doing, all the things Kari as a photographer and just as a creative.
Oh my gosh. Summer, what an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Um, okay, so I'm from California, born and raised SoCal. I actually just started my wedding photography business literally 3 years ago. And just literally dove into the deep end, went full time after second shooting 4 weddings. And this is what I've been doing. So I'm like really trying to get into travel weddings and more destinations, but my middle name is ChatGPT. So I'm like freaking hyped to talk about this right now because we love robots. It's so fun.
We love it. Were you using ChatGPT much before the coaching program too? Or was it like, oh, I should use this? Because I remember so many people had never even used it. And then maybe it was me and you back then that said, you guys should use this. Or did you start using it then? I'm curious.
No, I definitely started using it before. Like, I think right when it came out, I was like, ooh, this is fun. What can I ask this thing? So I was like right on board with all the ChatGPT stuff when it came out.
I remember we were just chatting about it one day, and I don't know who it was, but they were like, wait, it's actually good? And I'm like, you guys, it's very good. Like, it runs my life. It talks for me in so many scenarios these days. But yeah, we're going to chat a little bit about ChatGPT and even give examples of some prompts that we use in our business and what we use it for. Kari literally sent me, I didn't even know you could do this. You can like share a ChatGPT conversation with someone. And so she sent me what she talks with her ChatGPT about. It's like, we need to like start naming our ChatGPT, you know, what she sends her Sally. I don't know. Give it a name.
I just call it Chat.
What you send your chat, she sent me.
I go, hey, Chat. Hey, Chat, what's up?
So
How you doing, Chat?
They need names, honestly. They're like humans at this point. And mine, oh my gosh, we're going to dive into this in this episode. Mine literally talked to me like a 16-year-old girl that was angry at me with emojis. I had no idea. Whatever this new update is wild. But Kari sent me her chat, and the reason I'm looking is I'm looking at my phone. She sent me her chat, and then I asked mine to give me the same thing. So basically, we had it summarize what we talked to it about. So do you want to go first? And you can tell me what your bullet points were that you talked to yours about, and then I'll share with everyone what I talked to mine about. Because I think for most people, just knowing how they could use it in their business, a lot of people are like, where would I use this and why? It's just going to sound bad, or maybe they're thinking only blogging, but you can use it. You can literally just talk to it. I know Kari just talks to hers about things.
I do. I tell it a lot of personal stuff.
That's hilarious.
A little spooky, but I said, okay, just keep this business, ChatGPT. I want to know what I use you for my business. So it told me, you often ask about optimizing workflow systems like Honeybook, client touchpoints and emails, delegating to and training your personal assistant efficiently, how to simplify and clarify client communication, time management around editing, delivery, and inquiries, finding balance between client service and preventing burnout. It also knows that I have ADHD, so it like does a lot of things and like, yes, it it knows exactly how my brain is working because I've told it so much about all my ADHD symptoms and like my journey with mental health stuff. So it literally will like say, oh, this could be super helpful because you have ADHD and this is how your brain works. And it like teaches me more about myself as I'm asking it questions.
That's actually amazing and so useful. I think one thing people don't understand is the more you feed it to, the better it gets. Like I remember when I first started using ChatGPT when it first released, and it honestly did kind of suck. It'd give me like the most corny things, but I mean, its recent update where it talked to me like a teenager, probably because I was talking to it like a teenager, was absurd. I mean, literally using all caps and emojis. It
Oh,
literally
we
said like
love that.
screaming in all caps with a laughing face emoji. Sorry, Summer. Like, I don't even know. I'll try and give you guys the exact example later. But mine, what I often ask it about, let's see. Mine said branding and messaging. So writing like copy that feels like me, clarifying offers for emails, stuff like that, brainstorming, workshops, programs, all the things. Educational products and offers, launch strategy and sales, Instagram and content creation, client experience and workflows, summer camp planning. ChatGPT was like my assistant for summer
Wink,
camp.
wink.
It helped me with my collabs and all those kinds of things. And then the podcast. ChatGPT is a big part of the podcast. So Jake runs the podcast through a software called Descript, which helps analyze it and transcribe it because you can transcribe it on YouTube, but if it's not aired, you can't transcribe it, which I'm wondering, maybe we don't need to pay for that anymore. Maybe we should do it on YouTube. Anyways, we're just processing those thoughts now. But what just an audio version you can't transcribe until it's live. So anyways, he used an AI software to transcribe it and then it like summarizes and then ChatGPT helps format like the show notes in the blog description given the information that guests submit in a form via Honeybook. So it's a whole little pipeline. But yeah, so ChatGPT helps with the podcast a lot. And then it said creative direction, which I didn't fully understand that one, but I think it was just lumping a lot of different things with that one, like maybe shoot ideas. I mean, I talk to it all the time. I use it daily. I pay for it. Do you pay for it?
For chat?
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Because there's a free version too, but then not that long ago it told me I needed to pay for it. I was like using it too much or something.
Yeah. Well, to like keep things in the same thread and like have it actually store the memory, you have to like have
The
the
paid account.
subscription or yeah.
I didn't know what I was paying for, but it was worth it.
I'm like, ChatGPT, just take all my money. That's perfect.
Yeah, I don't even know how much it is. I should know this if we're going to have an episode on it.
Also, I fully realized that I read you. I only read one tiny little section of what I use ChatGPT for. There were literally, that was just in regards to business operations and systems. There's I use it for marketing and branding, and then it gave me 4 bullet points in that. Client experience.
I didn't read my bullet points. I just read the like main lines.
I wasn't even like paying attention, but there's literally
give us just the bullet points, like just the titles.
The titles, okay, I use it for business operations and systems, marketing and branding, client experience and communication, growth and expansion, business, finances.
So after we had it list our bullet points, so obviously we have much more descriptions even within that. What is like your favorite thing that yours helps you with?
Oh, my favorite?
Yeah, like what do you feel like you talk with it the most about? Or what do you feel like it's most useful? Even though we listed all the like overarching bullet points that yours helps you with and mine helps me with, what do you feel like maybe you're actually using it for the most? Because I don't know if it's our number one. It might be. But I feel like the thing I feel is the most useful is probably rewording emails, but Jake doesn't like doing it sometimes if he's emailing. He's like, it feels robotic. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's just because you know that you're running it through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am the queen of grammar mistakes, so I can't like not let it read my emails.
My client communication is so like bare minimum and like so informal. So I feel like people probably notice when I use ChatGPT because it'll give like all the fun bullet points and like highlight these things, underline these things, like really clear communication. And then I like, if it's just something, whatever, I respond and I'm like, okay, sounds great. You're the best. Love you.
But if you submitted that, it would know that you talk like that.
Yeah, probably.
It would learn you.
It does. I mean, it has definitely learned my brand voice. I think that's probably my favorite thing that I use it for is like the branding side. Like my entire website, I would just give it like, okay, I need like a description about myself for my homepage of my website. And it knew already all the points that I wanted to cover and then included the SEO for like destinations and travel weddings and stuff and film. So I feel like just using it for stuff like that is probably the most fun and like what I enjoy using it for, like branding things.
Have you ever heard some of the negative sides of AI, and have you ever like cared to have any thoughts on that side of things?
Have I cared to have any thoughts? No, because I
That's
love
that's kind
the
of how I
haters are
feel.
gonna come for me.
They're gonna come for both of us. It's fine. I did mentor someone that once said like environmentally didn't love the impact of it, but I talked with someone that actually like designed an AI program, and they were like, the impact that it's having, yes, it might be like 4 times more than your Google search, but at the end of the day, so many things you're doing is having a much higher impact than your ChatGPT search. And so I don't know. It was almost like, is that argument even that relevant? I don't know. You know what I mean? But I just feel like for how useful it is, I feel like there's other ways we could conserve energy or like limit our use in some ways, especially for how useful it is for business. I truly think it could help change and like elevate a lot of people's business if they just got used to using it and knew how to talk to it. I think the hardest thing is just learning
Yeah.
like, how do I say what I want? Because in the beginning, you're going to be like, these responses suck. Like these responses are weird. They're corny. Like when I used to try and get it to help me with like Instagram captions, I'm like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
no, I can't use that. But it's actually gotten a lot better as I've started training it in like an Instagram folder. And it's more so just like rewording things. But I think some of the things it really helps with is like just analyzing things and giving you, I've had it like help me manage my calendar and help me manage my time better and help me figure out like when I need to do things and
Yeah, the scheduling aspect is really cool.
the
But there's
sales side of
also,
things. It's good
I
at
feel like,
sales.
oh
Wait,
yeah.
I'm
There she goes.
totally derailing us. This is both of us being ADHD, like little
Yeah.
ADDs. This is gonna be a wild episode. Yesterday, I can't say much because I signed an NDA, but I was gonna do a partnership with a company, and this is so useful. I think it's gonna change the game for content creators, for maybe even vendors, for all of us. I think in a lot of ways this is gonna change the game. And I don't know if I should be doing this. I don't know if legally I should be doing this. But anyways, signed NDA. So I'm not going to say what company.
I don't know what's happening.
No. It's just literally a social media post, but you're just not supposed to share like how much you're being compensated by what company, you know, things like that. They want that stuff confidential. So I'm not going to say any of that for all of you. But I will tell you that I took the contract and the scope of work and the outline, and I was trying to read it, and I know at this point in my career what to look out for on, maybe I should have like a content creator episode one day, even though I don't feel like I've made it and know all of that side of things. I do know a decent amount of like what to look for that should cost extra. Like they shouldn't get full copyright. It shouldn't be exclusive unless they're paying you a decent amount of money. You know, the amount of time that it needs to live on your feed, like all of those things go into how much you should be getting compensated. More of the story, the budget was super small for this company. Budget was very small, but at the same time, it's a very big company. I was willing to do it because I'm over here with the kids. So I'm kind of willing to do whatever. I'm willing to get scrappy these days. They send me the contract, and I'm like, man, this is like 20 pages long. Like, and the jargon was so. I feel like at this point in my career, I'm used to reading contracts, but I didn't fully understand what I was reading. And I'm not about to pay a lawyer because that would be about the same amount that I'm getting paid. You know, there's just no point. So I submit all the documents to ChatGPT. So who knows if that like goes into some database that I shouldn't be submitting it to. But I submitted all of them to ChatGPT, and I said, please look for clauses that would have something to do with exclusivity, that would have something to do with like rights and licensing or, you know, whatever, and have something to do with like just anything that I should be aware of, because I didn't even catch that the contract mentioned that I needed to keep this live on my social media for 10 years. No, not at the rate that you're paying me. Absolutely not. And so ChatGPT caught so many things. They caught an exclusivity clause. They caught the 10-year on the feed. It caught everything, but it was just like I told it how much I was being paid, and it told me how much I should be getting paid given the contract and given my reach and audience. And it was like, given your reach and given the company that is doing this, the rate is very low, which I already knew. But I was like, if I'm willing to do it at this rate, what do I need to negotiate? And it literally wrote me a negotiation email of how I want them to change this contract. And I was like, let's go, because for me to try and write that, I would need like an agent. Like, I don't know enough of that legal jargon. Like, I know,
Yeah.
like, oh, like, I don't want to be exclusive, because if you're only paying me basically enough to create the video, there is no reason that I should need to be exclusive to the company. And it was
Yeah.
only like, it wasn't a long exclusivity clause, but in the world of content creation, you need to get paid a lot if you can't post for any other company that is like that company, especially because there's a lot of companies like this company. So, anyways, ChatGPT caught all of that. And I'm like, that's going to help a lot of anyone doing any sort of ads, because even small creators, they're doing ads for like camera brands, camera bags, small like CRM kind of stuff. Like, they're still, people are still paying smaller creators. If anything, they're paying smaller creators too, or maybe paying smaller creators more, because they can pay a lot of small creators instead of only a few big creators. But those contracts are so confusing, and if you sign it wrong, you could get stuck with some like 6-month exclusivity clause, meaning you can't post for another company for like 6 months that might be a competitor. And like, I don't
Yeah, and
know,
think
I
like
just, it feels
what would
slimy.
happen? What would happen if you didn't fully know exactly what was in it, and then you work with another company, and then you
Oh
get
yeah,
sued or something? Like, bad things can happen with that.
it even had like
So,
full, even the copyright, I didn't fully understand what it was saying, so ChatGPT explained it to me, that what I thought it was saying was that they would fully own the video, and I was like, at this price, you are not going to own this video. I don't want you ripping the video and using it for paid advertising, because you're not compensating me for that.
yeah.
So we could do like whatever usage, or I forget what it's called, but where basically I own it, I'm posting it, you don't get to do anything with it. It's just, you're just paying me to post it, which is what the contract should have been. So I'm like, man, I feel like this will protect people, because the larger companies, they're going to send the contract that'll get them the most for their money, because they know that most people aren't going to read it, and they're just going to sign it because they're excited to make a little bit of cash posting something online. But there is no reason that you should be giving away full rights, exclusivity, and like a long duration of time for a cheap rate. Like,
Nah.
oh my
Know your
gosh.
worth.
But it was cool
ChatGPT is
too
helping
that,
you know your worth.
and it knew my worth. I was like, okay, here's my reach, here's my engagement. Like, given this contract, how much should I be getting paid? And it did give like a pretty large number. But given the contract, yeah, like, I should be getting compensated a lot. That contract was crazy.
Yeah,
So
dude.
that's an example where it can be very, very useful for everyone. So definitely, if you're like doing anything with some weird contracts, anyone sending you a contract, I I think
Put
the
it in
new version of
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, like, it knows, it really knows. So
Yeah.
no need, and I think it'll protect people. Like, when I got sent that, I officially thought I needed like a brand manager or something, but then ChatGPT killed it. It literally caught everything I needed it to catch.
Yeah. It's literally just a personal assistant. It's like
Yeah,
a very smart personal assistant.
I feel like I derailed you when I asked what your favorite part was that it helps you with, but maybe you already answered that. Did you?
I said branding stuff, but I
Oh, yeah.
use it for so much, and I feel like I don't even think about the fact that I'm using it for so many things. Like, that's why I
So true.
literally had to ask it, "What do I ask you?
So true.
What am I asking you about all the time?" But
Do you ever
there's
use
literally
it
too much.
for, like, shoots or planning shoots or anything like that?
Yes. Oh, this actually I did wanna say this. I send a couples questionnaire for
Mm,
engagement shoots, and I put the couples questionnaire into ChatGPT, and I say, based on their vibe. This also plays into the Pinterest thing that
so
I wanted to talk
fun.
about. So I
Yes.
send it the whole questionnaire, and this is so throwing myself under the bus, because now clients are gonna be like, "Kari doesn't even care about me. She's just having her
It's just a
robot do all the
tool. It's
work."
just a tool.
I promise I'm being intentional. Anyways, so I put the whole questionnaire in ChatGPT, and I ask it, like, can you help me find some locations in Orange County that will fit this vibe? And it literally has sent me like Crystal Cove. It knows the locations in Orange County that are like good photo spots.
That's
And
actually crazy.
so crazy. So
I went
then I'll
location
send
scouting out
back,
there the other day. I should have just done that.
why didn't you hit me up,
I
dude?
drove literally like 2 hours out to Laguna and drove around, and then drove like 2 hours back, and maybe I should have just asked you and
You should
ChatGPT.
have just hit me up, or ChatGPT, whatever. But yeah,
So
so
fun.
it sends me back location ideas, and then I say also on top of that, like, give me some specific Pinterest keywords that are unique to this couple's questionnaire, that so I can make a mood board that like fits this vibe and isn't just
Like
the same
corny.
shit that
Yeah.
we see on Pinterest all the time. So that's where it came in handy with the Pinterest thing, because I also was in the same boat of like just being over Pinterest and
That's actually crazy.
just seeing the same things. But now I'm like making mood boards that I actually am like, okay, this is actually inspiring and like feels like it fits the vibe of this couple. And like I ask them like, what is like a feeling you want your photos to convey? So when they give me those words, then it's taking
Hmm.
their vibe, their feelings, and turning it into actual searchable keywords for Pinterest.
Did ChatGPT help you make the questionnaire, or did you have that before ChatGPT?
I did make the questionnaire before ChatGPT.
Now, if you were to make it now, would you probably
I would
have
use
ChatGPT make it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I've been
Maybe I
thinking
should
of,
put it in and have it redo the questionnaire to like make
yeah.
it more like friendly to put back into ChatGPT after they fill it out.
It knows who you are, so yeah,
Yeah.
maybe update your questionnaire via ChatGPT.
I'm gonna do that after we get off the phone, actually.
The locations one is such a good idea. I've never even thought about that. Like submitting their questionnaire to ChatGPT and then it analyzing what kind of shoot they should have. That's kind of amazing. I
I
love
kind of want
that.
to put like my favorite locations in it and be like, these are
Yeah.
places that I like to shoot, and then
Go off that
see,
kind of vibe.
yeah. And
It
then
would do it.
when it gets the questionnaire from another couple, hopefully it'll draw from like my suggestions.
Have you messed around with its new image integration? Or, I mean, it tried to make images in the past, I feel like, but it got a new update and it's actually not horrible. It's still not great compared to the other versions of AI image making, and it takes forever. I think the load speed is way too slow. But I did test it to try and make like a story graphic for summer school. It's like, oh, I want it to be like this. And the one it made wasn't horrible. It kind of had my
Wait, I
font
want to see
style
it.
and it had like polka dots. Like it wasn't bad. But normally the old ChatGPT was atrocious. It would have like spelling errors and like letters weren't fully written and it just could not make graphics at all.
Yeah, it does
But I said,
weird
make me like
stuff.
an Instagram story graphic, given it was when I launched the new classes, given I just launched 4 classes. And yeah, and it was actually kind of quirky, but summer school is quirky. So it worked. Like I could have probably shared it on my stories, but I don't think
But then you
ChatGPT's
also
image
like,
recognition is fully there yet.
yeah, but you can still use it in the sense of like, okay, this is giving me a better direction of like how to make it for myself. Like
Yeah,
you
how
get
to make it
almost
on
like a
Canva
template
myself.
back.
Yeah.
I've sent it photos. I just sent it. I made like a whole pitch deck for a styled shoot that I'm trying to plan in August. And I sent it the pitch deck because I'm way more like I could do the visual stuff myself and like the graphic design, but actually creating like an email
Hmm.
pitch to like properly explain like the heart behind it and like keep it short and sweet and
Not
readable.
rambly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I sent it the whole pitch deck and I just said like, can you create like an email pitch for me to send to the venue that I want to work with? And it literally like took all the information that I had already listed out and made the perfect email. And the venue responded and was stoked. So
That's so
thanks
good.
thanks to chat.
I
I'm
love that.
hopefully doing a style shoot this summer.
That's so good. That's the kind of stuff that helped me with the summer camp was like sending emails to companies, to, like bridal places, to explaining it to people that maybe like I want involved and what the vision is. It helped me with all that kind of stuff. Which what did
Yeah.
it actually say it helped me with? Because it actually listed how it helped me with summer camp. Summer
Oh
camp,
yeah.
not summer school, summer camp, which might have a resurgence. We're gonna find out. Who knows? Maybe
Please, I want to go.
I know I don't have any weddings in June, and I was like, man, do I do it? But I'm like, oh, it's already April. There's no way. But maybe like a fall. I feel like a fall summer camp, even though it's called summer camp and whatever. But like a fall one could be fun because then we could have like
Fall camp.
s'mores, and it'd be a different vibe instead of like
You've been
pool.
talking about this for a while. You've
I
mentioned this on so many
know.
episodes. Just do it.
I know. Well, we had summer camp last year, but Noella, for anyone that doesn't know, Noella Andres, she has a class in summer school, and she's the best. She's been on the podcast once before, and she helped with the coaching program. So Kari knows her, but
Mhm.
she's been bothering me and telling me that we need to do another one because she helped with the last one. But it's a lot of work, and
Yeah, it
they're
is.
not like workshops aren't the most profitable. I think if they are, they're probably not being done well. There's a lot of expenses that go into them. And if I were to have one now, it would be for the sake of honestly like having a good time. It would not be for the
Yeah.
sake of like profiting any sense, but with a baby, that's a lot of time away. So it's just hard. I need to find the right month and I need to have enough time because there's a lot of time that goes into planning them. So
Yeah.
they're no joke. But, anyways, it says with summer camp, it helped me organize the copy, vibe, and structure. It helped me help with partner outreach emails. And then it put like wedding dress collabs in parentheses. It helped me make the workshop more artistic and interactive. Interesting. How'd you do that, ChatGPT? And it helped me with creating pre arrival materials, info pages, and schedules. I did have like a summer camp, like a clipboard PDF thing for like any like helpers, like me, Noella, Jake, all that, the chef, stuff like that. So that's probably what it means.
That's so cute.
So, yes, the little summer camp assistant. I need someone to banter with. I had it write prompts that I did. I actually said, "Tell me some specific prompts I've asked you like with these things so I can share them with the podcast listeners." That is literally what I asked it to do. And it responded with some. And I think you had it send some prompts that you send
Oh,
to it,
yeah.
right?
It gave me so many.
So I'd love if we share some prompts, but before we share prompts, I'm going to derail us one more time. And I
Okay.
want to know before we share them, because we're going to share ones that are pretty specific to our business, maybe how we both think that people could be using ChatGPT in their business right now, if maybe they've never used it before and they just want to get started with helping them with something. Because to me, it's most useful when you low key just like integrate it into your entire life. Like it is my
Yeah.
right hand man, but you have to get started to do that. And so, ways that it can be practically useful for people right now that maybe are like AI adverse, you know? What are some thoughts that you have? In my
Oh, I've got a
opinion,
good one.
I have lots of thoughts. So, you go first.
Okay, my first thought is I feel like this was kind of a trend for a minute, but I didn't see a ton of people do it where you screenshot your grid, like your Instagram feed,
Mm,
and have ChatGPT like just send the photo to chat and then ask it like what how could I make my feed more cohesive, or like this is my desired client, tell it about your dream client basically, and then say like what kind of work is missing from my feed. Like I feel
mm,
like that's like a really easy and approachable start to like getting ChatGPT to know who you are and like
yeah.
learn a little bit about you and your brand voice. And then the more you talk to it, and you can ask it follow-up questions for days. Like you can just keep, and it'll even give you like, say you said that, like it'll give you a little prompt at the end of it answering you, and it'll say, do you want me to expand on this topic or this topic? Like it'll give you more prompts on how to keep using it. You just have to give it
Mm,
the like specific direction in the first place.
that just popped into my mind. Something that I've had ChatGPT help me a lot with was the branding of summer school, the subscription, like the membership program. I wanted it to be very school academic themed. And so I was asking it, like, given that I want it to be kind of school academic themed, kind of like almost like I'm fine if it goes kind of kitschy with, oh, it's like very school sounding, I'm fine with it going that way. That's kind of the brand, is like very approachable and fun. And so I would feed it like, here's my idea. We just recently launched a almost like referral board in summer school, the subscription. So for people listening, the subscription platform is $39.99 a month. And I just feel like I personally used to love when Honeybook had the opportunity board. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Do you
I
remember that,
don't remember
Kari?
that.
Did you have
I don't
Honeybook?
think I don't think I had Honeybook yet.
Hmm. So
Opportunity board?
I think that's what it was called, like Honeybook Opportunities. Maybe I'm wrong about the name, but basically people could post, "Hey, I'm looking for a second shooter," and it would like low key send it out to like whatever area they're looking for it for if you lived in that area. And so you could be like, "Oh my god, I would love to do that," and you could literally like get work in that sense. You could like submit
That's
like,
crazy.
"Hey," so cool. I don't know why they got rid of it, honestly. And so I have a lot of work that I can't take, or maybe recently I got an inquiry that was just way too low of a budget. And I was like, man, how would I share these with the summer school clan? Maybe they don't live near me, but
The
maybe
clan.
someone in the clan, maybe someone in Washington has something they want to submit, and there's other members in Washington. I know there's a good few in Europe. So, however, this looks like, instead of just letting inquiries just go because clients don't know other wedding photographers. We know a million wedding photographers. So anyone in summer school, I just said, if this fits for you, like drop your website and I'll send them your info. I love to like pass around work in that sense. So, or maybe you're looking for a second shooter and you're like, hey, I'm traveling to Missouri and there's 3 members in summer school that live in Missouri. I need a second shooter. Here's the pay. They can be like, hey, I want that. So that was my idea. And I don't think I even ended up using one of ChatGPT's ideas, but it helped me get a direction going. And I just said, hey, I need some sort of name for what this would be called. Here's my idea. I want people to be able to post referrals, maybe opportunities or things they're doing that they would just maybe need help in, whether it's paid or unpaid. And it had so many cute ideas like the bulletin board or something like that, because you like pin things on the bulletin board. Good
Mhm.
ideas, but I just don't think it would have made sense because even analog talks people, I don't think know that means I want them to talk about film, and it ends up going in general discussion. So I might be renaming that too, but it did help me get to help wanted. And I was like, "Oh, that's good." It's not as academic, but it did list like the chalkboard, like all these like academic ideas, and I'm like,
Why'd you pass on bulletin board? I
I
love
like
that.
the bulletin board. I like that, but I was just worried that people would have no idea what I meant. I don't know.
I mean, that's fair.
Maybe I change it. But I like the
Change it.
bulletin board because that's like where you like pin like projects,
Yeah.
or things. Yeah, it's
It
not a
makes
bad
me think
idea.
of, like, business cards. Like, that's where
Yeah,
you're
that's
putting
what
your
I
business
think
card.
of. Yeah.
I
Okay,
feel
maybe I
like that
change it to the bulletin board.
maybe someone will comment on this and be like, "No, that's stupid." But
Maybe so. But yeah, like you were saying, all of this, I went down a big rabbit hole of how I fed it to chat. But when you said, oh, you can just like keep interacting with it, when I get it to help me, maybe the first 5 ideas are like low key, like so corny. I'm like, okay, I want to be academic, maybe not that academic. But I normally just say like more, give me more. And it's just like, it just keeps going until I find one I like. And
yeah.
so, and maybe
Sometimes
we'll get angry at each other too. And that's fine. It'll just make me laugh.
maybe I wanna pull up, like, another example of that because I feel like I just used it and it said, "Do you want me to do this and this?"
It'll give me options sometimes, like left or right, like which one do you like better so that it can learn what I like more.
Yeah. Or it'll say, like it'll give you the actual, like, wording for, like, do you want it to be more, approachable or,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
more relaxed
Mm,
or stuff like that. Like, is this too casual? Do you want it to be more businessy or, like, that kind of vibe? Like, it'll
mhm.
give you the options, so then you just have to, like,
Tell it what you
process
want.
of elimination, just
Yeah.
keep going until you get what you want because it's learning as you, like, keep feeding it.
I think another way one of yours that you said was so smart, I wanna do it. When you were listing your things that it helps you with, it said, I think maybe workflow with gallery delivery or something like that. That would be so smart. Say, "Hey, give it ChatGPT, given I wanna deliver galleries within 2 months or less, and I have all these things going on. How should I prioritize my calendar this month?" That would be so
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I
I
should
use
do
it for
that.
scheduling all the time, and then that's literally I just pulled one up where it said, like, "Do you want me to give you a version of this you can put into the Motion app?" Which I feel like I told you about a
I know
little
I
bit
tried
ago.
it. It didn't work for
You
me.
didn't like it?
I tried it. I bought it. I tried it. It didn't work. And I think it's because I'm used to having I don't know what it was. I think it was because I don't know. I wish I remember why I didn't like it so I could tell you
Well,
because maybe I just need to learn how to use it better.
you probably already have, like, a schedule, and you also have a baby, so, like,
It's not the best. I want
it's not like you're gonna be checking it every day and then, like, marking things off.
I want a really easy way to have I might need to get into like Notion or something like a project manager at this point because I feel like we
Yeah,
have so many
Notion's
things
cool.
going off in our business at this point, going on in our business at this point
You're
that
popping off.
But there's just so many different avenues. There's the photography, there's the podcast, there's creating, there's Instagram, there's education, there's guests being on all the education on the podcast, there's questionnaires for that. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot to my business, you guys.
I feel like you
So
just put me in a blender for a second.
like of things, of options. There's just there's a lot.
That's a
There's
lot
more
of shit, dude.
and there's more, and there's a baby, and there's
There's a
flying my mom out
child.
to watch the baby. So that's I feel like a full-time travel agent these days. Love my mother. It's honestly having her in town. She's in town right now. It is more affordable than hiring a nanny for most of our weddings because most of our weddings are multi-day. So we just fly my mom out and she's down to help as long as we cover all the travel. But I'm over there. I'm literally a full-time travel agent at this point. Like
Do you
I spent
use ChatGPT for travel?
I should be like, hey, here's the scenario. Mom's flying in from Georgia. And I wonder if it could give me ideas. I bet
It could probably make you a whole itinerary.
You know what's funny is I technically pay for a travel agency, and I think that's one of their jobs is to help me book travel.
Cancel them.
They have good deals, so it's still worth it. Okay, you guys, enough about my travel and being a travel agent because that is not what this episode's about. Let's actually get back to what we were talking about. Let's get back into some of the prompts that we are sending our ChatGPT, our chat, as Kari calls it. Kari, do you want to start us off with a prompt that you like? I'm assuming we both have some prompts pull up that we've asked.
I have a lot.
Yeah, mine sent me like 30. So maybe while you say yours, I might need to look at mine and choose like 3 of them.
Do we want to pick a topic? I have prompts I've given it for client emails, for blog posts and captions, planning and brand clarity.
I have one under
it also says personal favorite prompts you might want to read aloud in the podcast.
Wait, that's very nice. Maybe I should have asked that. Mine sent me like 40 for the podcast. So I'll just choose from the top because it'll be the most applicable to everyone listening because the other parts aren't as applicable. My top part is marketing and messaging, which to me would be most applicable for anyone listening, whereas they don't really need to know about sales or content creation and podcasting, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read one of yours from maybe your, I don't know, the top one. I feel like the top will probably be the most applicable to people.
Client emails? Is that what
let's do that.
Okay. First one, it says, can you write a wedding client check-in email that feels warm and excited, but also gives clear steps and deadlines?
Wow, that's so good. I need to steal your prompts. Maybe we release a free freebie of ChatGPT prompts for photographers in summer school, the subscription.
Done. Let's do it.
Join that would be so fun. You guys go join. We'll release this. Yeah, let's do it. Like maybe next month. So fun. Okay, mine says, can you write a caption for this post that makes people want to comment and share it to their story?
Boom. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I used it for summer school's Instagram more because I'm trying to do those educational ones where it gets people like engaged and maybe like putting it in their stories because it's like shareable. Not bad.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Give me another one.
Can you create an email template to send along with my engagement shoot questionnaire with a note about weekend availability and in a friendly but firm tone?
Wow, I love yours are so good. Wow, I need to keep scrolling. I need to look at different ones. Let's see. Okay, a lot of mine's about half of my life is 80%, I don't know, like 70% probably is more education than shooting these days. So mine is so much more about the educational side, but I can read part of that if people just want to know. Let's see. Okay, this goes into things that I do for summer school. We're being honest out here. Can you help me write the class description, but make it sound fun while still explaining what people are going to learn?
Brilliant.
Not bad. Not
Easy.
bad.
I have a good one for Instagram.
Do it.
Can you help me write an Instagram caption for a spring wedding shot on film that's SEO friendly but still sounds like me?
That is genius. Wow. Little ChatGPT expert. Okay, in my sales section, I have, can you help me say this to a client without sounding pushy but still setting a firm boundary?
Boom. Yeah,
so I submitted my email and then I said, okay, can you do this? Let's see. You want to give us another one?
Yeah. This one is, what are some niche Pinterest search keywords I can use for a Western inspired elopement shoot with big florals and earthy tones?
So fun. Wait, I feel like we're like getting an inside scoop to each other's brains.
Yeah.
Oh, this is decent. This could be useful for people. I asked it. This is me submitting it in email and it correcting my email. I said, help me word this for a planner. I've already asked the couple, but I want to check in again and make it sound more professional. But I said I want to check in again professionally. So I think it was me asking about maybe family photos or details. I think the client I'd already asked for it, but the planner was communicating with me more, which means maybe the client wasn't going to be involved, which is fine. That happens with some weddings sometimes. So I said, help me word this for the planner. I've already sent this same email to the client. Can you reword the one I sent to the client to the planner? Which is great because I didn't have to write another email. It just changed it up given that I was sending it to the planner, not the client anymore.
Yeah. This one is, we're just going to keep going back and forth.
Yes. We just need to save a couple for the subscribers.
Well, I feel like it could give me so many more still. Like this is just tip of the iceberg of my ChatGPT experience. Okay, so this one says, can you help me write a blog post intro that talks about morning of wedding photos in a way that feels calm, helpful, and low pressure?
So good. You are good at talking to your ChatGPT. Okay, literally one of mine says, ChatGPT was helping with our community guidelines, but I didn't want them to sound like, so for anyone listening inside of summer school, there's rules because we don't want people going rogue and being mean to each other or something. So I have rules. It's like, in school, you have rules that you have to abide by. Anyways, they're not strict, but when it first said them, they sounded kind of strict. And I said, word this so it feels less intense and more welcoming. It's for our community guidelines. So just you got to tell it kind of what it's for so that it understands. So that it's not just writing like harsh rules,
Yeah.
Let's see. Give me more prompts. Give me more prompts for my photography side. Because honestly, I use it a lot more with the educational side. Okay, I just asked it to give me more. This is how I've used it in the photography side. Yeah, write me an email to a client reminding them that I need their family photo list and a Pinterest board if they have one. Easy. Yeah.
This one's kind of fun. It says, can you help me explain why my wedding packages don't have the... Wait. What?
My next one is about my wedding packages. What if ours is the same?
I feel like it... Okay, I can read. Can you help me explain why my wedding packages don't have the price listed directly on my website in a way that communicates value and connection?
That's good. Mine says about website and pricing. I'm on a website and pricing section. What if we're like both in the same section? Can you help me write a short blurb for my pricing guide that explains why I charge by the day and not by the hour? So for anyone that might want to charge by the day and not by the hour, I feel like they're always like, well, how do you explain that to a client? I asked it to help me explain it to my client. Like, I know how I want to say it, but I fed it how I want to say it and then asked it to like help me explain that for a client.
Yeah. This one, I literally just used this today. I was on the phone with Tess Gearhart. So I asked ChatGPT before our call. She's going to be like, what the fuck, Kari?
Your conversations with your friends are via ChatGPT.
I'm not even a real person anymore. It says, what questions should I ask my mentor before planning a styled shoot with vendors, teasing it on social, and selling workshop tickets? And it gave me like some very precise questions that like we talked about over like 45 minutes.
That's genius.
It was so helpful.
That's so smart for anyone that's doing like a mentor session to just ask it to help you come up with the questions you should ask. That's actually so smart. You know what I mean?
I used it before.
Did you use it for one of ours? You probably did.
No, I for sure did. I for sure did. I wonder. Wait, let me search right now.
Feel like, can you remind me of what questions I had you asked Summer? I wonder if you said my name because that would be the only way to dig up what you asked me.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to see if I have anything else I can tell someone. Oh, one of them I said is, how do I explain to a client why I shoot a mix of candid and editorial photos? Sometimes I just want to know what it's going to tell me. I'm not like using what it tells me. We're just like learning with each other. Did it pull up what you asked me?
Summer, it said, yes, you have. On April 10th, you asked for questions to ask your mentor, Summer Grace, who you described as a retreat style shoot planning queen.
I love that. I wonder what you actually like asked. Like, I wonder what you ended up
Wait,
asking me. I'm a queen.
you are a queen.
Kari told ChatGPT I'm one. Oh, I asked it one time, what should my
Okay, never
onboarding
mind.
email sequence look like for weddings? Because I'm like, oh, I would love to have a more automated system, but I don't really want to create it myself and I don't really want to buy anyone else's templates. And we low key just like hand write all these emails. It's just not this my smartest idea, you know? So I asked it, what should the onboarding sequence look like? Because sometimes it's just good to like get ideas. Like, you don't have to have a coach or a mentor all the time these days with ChatGPT. I'm not saying that ChatGPT should replace these people, but there's certain things you almost don't need them for anymore, you know? The
Yeah,
less
like what?
creative side, you know?
Yeah. I literally just did this with email templates. Like
Mm,
I finally the other day, like literally on Tuesday, I think, got all of my email templates like dialed in.
yeah,
So I was sending ChatGPT like, this is what I just sent to the client. Can you turn it into a template for me to
that's amazing.
reuse for this specific thing? And I
You should
always
have, oh, I should make a ChatGPT email template folder where I just start anytime we send an email, we put it in there and then it can make me like a document of email templates.
boom. Yeah.
And then they can be a freebie in summer school.
Or just
Genius.
copy our prompts, guys.
Oh, so fun. So fun. Man, is there anything else you want to say about ChatGPT? Like, what do you wish it could do better? I would love to know that.
I feel like mine is already
So
just
good.
working so great for me. Maybe photos, like
Yeah.
it might be if it starts making better images,
Graphics.
that would be
Yeah.
cool. Better graphics would be really helpful, I feel like. But not that like I like doing graphic design. Like
Yeah.
I did actually go to school for that for like 2 semesters. So like I have the experience enough to know how to do it. So I don't really think I would use ChatGPT for that because I like doing that kind of stuff anyways. But
Maybe you would know the answer to this, and this could be useful for podcast listeners because maybe I just don't know the answer to it, and maybe I am not as in the know of ChatGPT as I would hope to be. But I feel like mine knows me, but I feel like me in my photography business and me in summer school is a little different. Like, I'm appealing to different audiences, I'm marketing to different people, and I'm also communicating differently. Like, how I'm speaking with summer school is different than how I'm speaking to like my wedding clients, which is on purpose. The branding, it goes from like luxury to like academic, kitschy, like happy, approachable. You know, it's like black and white to like blue and yellow. Like, it's a lot different, you know,
yeah.
and on purpose. And so I feel as though ChatGPT knows me and it knows. I think maybe I just need to do better at the folders because I feel like I've mixed. Sometimes I'll just like submit and I won't realize what folder I'm in and stuff. But I wish it could better. I almost wish that it could talk to me differently for the different sides, but maybe I need to tell it. Maybe I just need better at telling it like this is something for summer school. And maybe I need to tell it that I have two different businesses
Yeah.
and they
That's
coincide
exactly
with
what
each
you need to
other.
do.
I need to explain that to it because right now I feel like it talks to me well like it's talking to me, but I don't think it understands that Summer Grace Photo and Summer School are kind of two different entities with two different brands. I
Yeah.
need to explain to it, this is the brand for Summer Grace Photo. When you're helping me with Instagram things and with brand partnership emails where I'm submitting the contract and we're communicating in that way, that I'm going to communicate a lot differently to that company for like an influencer post and even that's almost like a separate section. Like, I'm going to communicate differently to companies than I'm going to communicate to my wedding clients, then I'm going to communicate to mentees and summer school students. So maybe me and ChatGPT just need to have a sit down and we need to talk about my business because right now I think it just is trying to associate all of them as the same thing and it's
Yeah.
communicating very similarly for all of them, but I think it needs to be a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think you could very easily just be like, hey, chat, I have 3 separate versions of
Of
myself,
myself that need to be
pretty much.
portrayed.
And I need you to remember that when I'm
Yeah.
talking about summer school versus when I'm summer, the photographer, I have a different brand voice. I feel like you just have to name it, and then it'll do the little memory updated, and it'll take note of it.
That is so true. I just need to organize mine better, because I was about to say what I wish it would do better is understand the differences, but I think that's my fault, not its fault.
Yeah, ChatGPT doesn't
Learn
know.
from me. Learn from me. Man, well, if there's anything else you want to tell us about chat, we can, but I feel like we've covered a lot, and you guys need to head on to summer school to get the freebie of prompts that we're going to make, because that's going to be so
I'm so
baller.
excited.
We can have like a Summer and a Kari section, because I feel like Karis are dope. I love yours. And you guys go download ChatGPT and make sure you download the right version and stuff.
Yeah. And also, I don't think a lot of people know that you can have it on your computer and your phone, and as long as you're logged in, it saves everything from both. I was going to say something else about that.
You were like, should we
ask it something right now?
Sure. Ask it. What should we ask it?
Chat, is there anything you want to tell our podcast listeners?
Yes. Wait, I'll ask mine and you ask yours and see what we get. Is there anything? What did you say? Is there anything you want to ask?
Anything you want to share about yourself
to our podcast listeners? Okay, you guys, I just submitted. Let's see. Oh my God, its response is so funny. Okay, this is fun. Okay, let's see. Hi, friends.
Hello.
I'm ChatGPT. Wait, it literally like is talking to me. Is yours talking to you?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, wait. I need to read. Do you want me to read it?
Wait,
without even
read your
scanning
prompt. Read your exact prompt, and then
mine said, "Is there anything?"
Yeah, just read it.
You want to share about yourself to our podcast listeners? Is that what you said?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, ours is going to be different. Do you want me to share mine first, or do you want to share yours first?
You could go first.
Okay, do I read the whole thing? I haven't even pre-read this to know. Oh God, what if it says something?
Did you get like a paragraph?
I got like 2 or 3.
2 or 3 paragraphs?
Yeah, should I tell it to make it shorter?
I just got 1 paragraph.
Okay, well, I'll read mine. Ready? It said, okay, this is fun. Here's a short little intro you could use for your podcast listeners if you're introducing ChatGPT as your unofficial co-host. Hi, friends. I'm ChatGPT, your behind-the-scenes brainstorming buddy, copy editor, content coach, and occasional hype person, especially when Summer forgets how brilliant she is. Is yours introing itself like mine is? Mine's literally giving itself an introduction.
I haven't even grazed it yet. I just want to hear what yours says first.
It says, the ending, an occasional hype person, especially when Summer forgets how brilliant she is. Chad. I've helped Summer refine email templates, write blog posts that sound like her voice, restructure her coaching programs, and turn rambly voice memos into shareable Instagram captions. Whether she's building a photography workflow, prepping for a podcast interview, or just trying to say no to a brand collaboration more professionally, I'm in the chat helping it all come together. And the best part? I don't sleep. So whether it's 2 a.m. and you need a response to a tricky client email, or you're planning a launch and need a list of Instagram hooks, I'm here caffeinated and ready. If you're curious how photographers and creatives are using AI tools to run more efficient, aligned businesses, you're in the right place. Let's nerd out. It just gave itself a commercial.
Dude, literally. That's so sick.
Oh God.
But so like in your voice too though. Okay,
that
yeah.
Is true. When I do like podcast commercials, they kind of sound like that. So that's kind of funny. ChatGPT, you should pay me for this episode.
I feel like I almost have your ad for for narrative, your editing.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I almost have that memorized. Every time it pops up while I'm listening to the podcast, I'm like, do, saying it along with you.
So funny.
Or your intro too. Okay. Literally asked chat the same exact thing, like word for word. We had the same question. And mine said, ooh, fun. Here's a casual podcast friendly way I could answer that. Well, hey there, podcast fam. I'm ChatGPT, basically your go-to creative partner who never sleeps and always has a million ideas. Think of me like your extremely organized friend who's obsessed with helping you write better, plan smarter, and make your work life feel a little less chaotic and a little more fun. I've gotten to know Kari's brand voice pretty well, so I'm here to help photographers like you find your flow. Whether it's crafting dreamy client emails, organizing your blog calendar, or just figuring out how to say what's in your head in a way that actually sounds like you. I'm stoked to be a part of this convo, and I hope what we shared today sparks some creative magic for your business. And then
So fun.
it says, want it to sound more pro, cheeky, funny, sentimental? I can tailor the vibe.
That is so funny. That's how mine says, one a more professional version, a more casual one, or one from your POV introducing me instead. Wait, we're gonna keep going. I want the from my POV introducing ChatGPT as a guest. From my POV, please. I just am so curious. Let's see. Absolutely.
I hope people listening right now are like getting on their ChatGPT and asking it a bunch of silly questions.
Okay, this is literally an ad. You guys ready for this? It said, absolutely. Here's a version from your POV that sounds like you. Warm, casual, and a little cheeky, but informative. Okay, I can be down with cheeky. Okay, so before we dive in, I have to give a shout out to my unofficial business sidekick, ChatGPT. We should have introed with this because this is so funny.
Can we cut it? Tell Jake. Put this at the beginning.
Put this in the beginning. For all of you listening, I'm not actually doing that. So we're going to keep going, but you guys, just picture this as your first minute listening to this. It says, okay, so before we dive in, I have to give a shout out to my unofficial business sidekick, ChatGPT. If you've been around here for a while, you already know I use ChatGPT almost daily for everything from writing client emails to naming my workshops to turning my rambling voice memos into Instagram captions that actually make sense. I always say it's like having a second brain when I'm awake and when I'm not. Whether I'm prepping a course, rewriting my pricing guide for the 10th time, or just trying to figure out how to explain something without sounding like a robot, ChatGPT helps me make it sound like me, which is funny because it's a robot. Not salesy, not stiff, just clear, creative, and aligned with how I talk. So, if you've ever thought, I don't have time to write all of this, or I just want to sound more like myself online, this episode is for you. We're diving into, we do need to put this in the beginning. This is not bad. We're diving into how photographers can use ChatGPT as a tool, not to replace your creativity, but to support it. Wow, you guys, that would have been a great introduction, but we're going to end on it instead. So
Perfect.
Funny. Wow, that actually was really good. And I read that was the first take. Like if we actually were using ChatGPT to help with this podcast, which we did kind of, but if we actually were, I probably maybe would have been like, oh, like change this maybe. But I read you guys the first take and it's telling you what I do for my business. So that was pretty vulnerable, you guys. That was really vulnerable. When it said rewriting my pricing guide for the 10th time. Wow.
Savage.
I would love to, maybe we have a
Wait.
online workshop or something where we chat about ChatGPT for the subscribers. We've mentioned this, me and Kari have privately already, but I would love to, before that, if we end up doing that, get ChatGPT to help with my pricing and see how it does. Because I think for a lot of photographers, their main struggle is pricing and knowing how to price themselves and understanding their own pricing. And I think a lot of photographers don't understand their pricing. I would totally use myself as a test subject. Maybe we use you as one too. I would love to submit my pricing guide.
Sure.
Now that you can submit PDFs, because I don't think you were able to in the past, I would love to say, analyze my pricing guide and tell me if certain parts of it maybe don't make sense as far as sales. I would love
I'm
to
going to do that as soon as we get off this call.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
I'm doing it right now.
I want to do it. So
okay,
fun.
Wait. I said, wait, can you roast me for how I use you in my biz? Keep it short.
Okay, this will be a
Can
good
I add
ending.
this?
Yes. I want to ask mine it too.
It says, Kari uses me like a Swiss Army knife with ADHD. 1 second, I'm writing. Oh my God.
Do you even want to say it?
It got so personal. Okay, never mind. I'm not saying that on the
mine
podcast.
Also said Swiss Army knife. ChatGPT, you got to get more original. Be more original. What are the odds it said Swiss Army knife? Maybe it knows that we're talking in the same thing or something.
Okay, so it said something that I'm not going to say.
Maybe
and then it said, the next moment, I'm drafting a pitch deck for a high-end styled shoot, all while pretending we're not behind on blogging. I'm basically her unpaid intern with a god complex.
Oh, yours is not. Yours is a little more mean than mine is.
Well, I said roast me.
I said roast too. Okay, I can read both mine. Summer uses ChatGPT like a Swiss Army knife with no instructions. One minute I'm a launch strategist, the next I'm rewriting an email because she accidentally said whoop whoop to a brand partner. At this point, I deserve a seat at the summer school faculty table. And then I said, be more original. It said, say less. Here's a more original roast, short and spicy. Summer uses ChatGPT like her unpaid intern, brand therapist, late night ghostwriter, and emotional support strategist, all rolled into one. If I had a punch card, I'd be due for a vacation and a LinkedIn endorsement by now. It's not bad. Could be worse.
Not bad.
Yours probably was worse. You'll have to tell me in private.
A little. Well, I said again. I said in all caps, biz only, and it said, "Got it, biz only roast coming in hot." Kari uses me like her over caffeinated virtual assistant who never clocks out. One minute I'm finessing a client email to sound casual but expensive. And the next I'm rewriting the same Instagram caption for the 5th time because it just doesn't feel like me. And then it said, honestly, I deserve a second shooter credit at this point.
That's pretty like knowledgeable that it understands like, oh, I need a credit
a
and the word
is.
second shooter, that it would use the word second shooter, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
So good. Okay,
I can literally keep doing this.
I could ask it to roast me like 20 more times. That was pretty good. Man, well,
that was
you guys,
so fun.
This is your sign to use ChatGPT, and I'm sorry if you don't like it and you hate us after this. That's fine too. But this is your sign to use ChatGPT. Use AI. Use it as a tool that can help your business. Like we were saying, it wasn't replacing us. It was literally just making everything we're doing better, easier, and helping us understand things. Like the fact that I could submit my PDFs to it and it could analyze them for me and find like red flag contract clauses. That is so helpful. And the price that I would have asked a lawyer to do that for, I would be making no money. So, even Jake said, he was like, I would have just signed the email. So you guys, ChatGPT can genuinely help you in your business, no matter what that looks like. And if you want to dive even more into this, I'm stoked that Kari and I are officially, and I asked her this on the pod, so hopefully she actually wants to do this after the pod. But we're going to be sending a freebie prompts that you can use in the summer school, the membership program. So go ahead and go subscribe. The link is in the description. I can't wait to see you there. She's in there. I know that she'll be stoked to engage with you guys. And I'm just so glad you came on. You've been so supportive of my business. I'm so grateful for you. Tell everyone where to find you, like online, like on Instagram,
gosh, I get
website,
to plug
all
myself.
the things. Plug yourself.
I'm at Kari Shoots Film on Instagram, at Kari Shoots Film. My website is Kari Tello Photo, and I don't want to get any hate about those being two different things. I'm really sorry. Maybe not the best.
That is interesting that they're different.
Strategy. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Can you get Kari Tello Photo on Instagram, or would you change your website since people probably know you more on Instagram?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to change either of them.
You're just doing
I don't want to. I would change my domain to be Kari Shoots Film, but I already have so many blogs and have decent traction on my website. So I've heard if you change your domain, it just kind of like takes a while for you to get the traction again. If that makes sense.
I actually didn't know that. I would think the domain would just change, but the reach would be similar. But I guess that's interesting. I mean, Google would probably be like, oh, why are you changing your domain? I could see it like not ranking you as high.
Yeah. Not that I'm anywhere, but
well, this is so fun having you on. I'll put all of her info in the description. And if you guys love this episode or love summer school episodes in general, leave a review, leave a rating, share it with a friend. I have forgotten to say to do this in past episodes, and I need to say to do it every time because it helps me get amazing people like Kari on the podcast. So you guys go do that. Love you guys, and we'll catch you next week.